with that, Zeke?
Thanks, Karine. First off, do you have an update on when the President-elect will come visit the President here?
So as we said in our statement yesterday after the Vice President spoke at Howard University, our teams, the President obviously invited the President-elect to the White House for them to meet. Our teams, their team and our team are working on that, and we certainly will share once we lock something in the near future.
Second, when the President spoke in the Rose Garden a little bit ago, one thing he did not do was take any accountability for his party's defeat on Tuesday night. Does he feel any sense of responsibility for the outcome? Does he feel he should have done things differently through the course of this campaign?
So there's a lot there, and let me, if you don't mind, give me a second to unpack all of this, because I think it's important for the American people to hear this as well. Look, the President has spoken to this, and I'll say it again here. He was certainly inspired by the campaign that the Vice President ran. When he decided to pass the torch over to the Vice President, you saw the party come right behind her, support her, right after he was able to do that. And it's because she was the right person for the job. You heard him say that in 2020, the reason why he selected her as her running mate, because he knew she would be able to do the job on day one. And you heard that obviously once he decided to pass the torch, which he didn't think about, like give any second thought, right? He thought about it and did it. Like, it wasn't something that he gave a second thought to, as I just said. He knew it was the right thing to do. And I would want to say as well, is that if you look at the 4 years, almost 3+ years, there are some historic accomplishments that they were able to do together, whether it's beating Big Pharma, and now Medicare is able to negotiate, whether it's getting a bipartisan infrastructure law, whether it's the PACT Act, the Bipartisan Infrastructure, the CHIPS and Science Act, thank you so much. These are things that were able to get us out of the pandemic. And you heard me say at the top that the President is proud to leave the strongest economy for the next person that's coming, for the President-elect. And that's what they're going to inherit. But with all of that said, and this gets to your question, despite all of the accomplishments that we were able to get done, there were global headwinds that because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Obviously, COVID-19 led to disruptions with the supply chain, and it had a political toll on many incumbents if you look at what happened in 2024 globally. And that's part of what you saw, right? You saw that there was a political toll on incumbent parties around the world here. Now, I'm going to be very mindful and leave the political analysis to the pundits. They're going to dig in, they're going to look under the hood, they're going to see exactly what happened. But what we saw 2 nights ago was not unusual to what we have seen from the incumbencies around the world on the global stage.
To restate my question, does the President feel any responsibility for the outcome?
The President understands that he's going to respect the will of the people. That's what he understands. He understands that the American people made a decision, and he's going to respect that. He believed he made the right decision. When he stepped aside, decided that he wasn't going to run, he automatically... Guys, here's the thing, and we can't rewrite history. We have to remember what happened in 2022. 2022 is a perfect example, actually, because when we came out of 2022 midterms, we saw a successful midterms for any new administration in over 60 years. And it was because of the President's policies. And let's not forget that all of the accomplishments that the President did, again, I had listed the bipartisan infrastructure legislation, CHIPS and Science Act, the Inflation Reduction Act. Those are popular with the American people. They are. Those policies were indeed popular. And that's what got us through the 2022 midterm. It was supposed to be a red wave. That didn't happen. And so coming out of that, we did see some historic markers there. And so the President believed that he needed to do. He's always going to put the American people first. When he decided to step down and endorse immediately the Vice President, that's what he thought was the right thing to do in that moment, in that time.
One last one for me.
Sure.